Walt's attention to his theme park. A breakthrough how to his park 1953 and 1954 when Walt figured out came to finance. Television, the sweeping was the country at the time, needed good, family-oriented programming. One of the major networks was not interested in NBC. Ironically, the ABC now has same network the Walt Disney Company was. The deal included a year-long TV show which would offer frequent updates for the construction of the new park. The remainder of the show was filled with Disney signature material, true life adventure films, precious stock of animated short films, and some live-action Disney series enjoyed a new popularity in 1954, mainly because of the Disneyland TV show. Construction of the happiest place on earth was completed in 1 year, a tremendous engineering and planning success. It is still to admire. Joe Fowler, incidentally the namesake of Fowler's Harbor, whereas moored on the rivers of America Columbia, hired by the Disney Company, managed the constructive effort, did a tremendous job. Plagued by strikes, shortages, and a lack of rail transport in the area was Santa Ana Highway, still not complete, as far as Anaheim during most of the construction. Admiral Joe, always the things on the right track. During its original construction and in the first decade of operation, Walt held his own hand in the design of Disneyland. The first actual rendering of the park, by Herb Ryman, moved personally by Walt's set. The drawing of the residual amount of financial assistance of Walt was instrumental in securing necessary. The design of the Sleeping Beauty Castle, so called because of the film, should be released soon with this name. The concept of many local attractions, the high standards for landscaping, Bill Evans's domain, and many other attributed directly to Walt. In addition are the Jungle Cruise, the Tiki Room, Haunted Mansion, Pirates of the Caribbean, Rivers of America, the Fantasy Dark Rides, Storybook Land, and many other attractions. All were designed and developed or somehow improved through personal engagement of Walt's. The one thing that Walt could not control happened, however, what California just outside the boundary of the house in Anaheim. As it turned out, the effects were stunning. As expected, jumped pitches up around Walt, deliberately removed Disneyland right in the middle of the projected population center of Los Angeles area. What was not expected was the high-rise hotels, restaurants, tourist traps, and so. Walt was able to keep the body carnival atmosphere of Disneyland, but he could not keep it from Anaheim. In addition, the Disney soon realized the incredible gift that hotel resort would have been income financial experts, Disneyland Hotel. Always before flagship hotel in Anaheim was owned by the Walt Disney Company until the Michael Eisner era, almost 40 years after Disneyland opened doors. 1963, Walt Disney reveals the Enchanted Tiki Room, the first use of audio animatronics in a theme park attraction. An extension of the animation in the film was a staple at Disneyland and other theme parks, animated mechanical characters. Disney animated human character with the introduction of the first in Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln at the 1964 New York Fair. The attraction moved on to Disneyland, where a successor to plays to this day. Also the New York Fair, Disney introduced It's a Small World, which also moved to Disneyland after the fair, where it stands today, after other versions inspired at any other Disney theme park resort around the world. However, the concept was in the 1964 Disney Imagineering Department, 4 attractions for the New York World's Fair tested built. There were 2 main reasons for the strong participation of Disney's. First, Walt planned to move the sites of Disneyland at the end of the fair. This would be worn exhibits, additional attractions in the park with most of the cost of the sponsors of the fair. Secondly, the 1964 fair was a test to see react if population would be the East Coast to the Disneyland-like entertainment. The fair was a great success. The 4 attractions, It's a Small World, Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln, Hagbard, portions of this show were exhibition to the Grand Canyon, Diorama on the Disneyland Railroad route added, and Progress Land, later the Carousel of Progress if it moved Disneyland, were among the most popular in the fair. Disney learned a lot about the new ride and attraction technology. The boats, It's a Small World, turned out to be a very efficient way. A large number of people through the attraction and the audio animatronics of Mr. Lincoln and Progress Country stunned visitors' beaks.